For the neck depth, I'll be using 2.5 inches, and for the width also I'll be making use of 2.5 inches, and I'll mark it. That is 2.5 by 2.5, and you connect it with a straight line. After that, you come in with 3/4 of an inch and mark it that way and connect it with a curve. For the shoulder, I will be slanting it with 1/2 of an inch, and you connect it to the neckline. And her armhole opening is 9 inches. So 9 divided by 2 is 4.5 inches, and you chalk it down. And this will serve as our chest line, and you rule it with a straight line. Next is to input her measurement. The bust is 23. 23 divided by 4 will give us 5 3/4, and you mark it down. Plus 1.5 sewing allowance. For the waist, her waist is 22 inches. So 22 inches divided by 4 is 5.5 inches plus 1.5 sewing allowance, and you connect the 2 points with a straight line. For the hand, we'll divide it by 2 and mark out the midpoint. After which you come in with 1/2 of an inch and you connect it this way. While for the back, we'll be maintaining the first line. So we'll cut out the front, and we'll be using the front to cut out the back. Let's cut it out. And this is what the front is looking like. So we'll be using it to cut out the back. So we'll be folding the fabric again into 2. Then placing the front on the back piece and adjusting it so that it will line properly. Next is to mark 1 inch for your zipper allowance. You mark it all the way down 1 inch. After marking, you connect with a straight line and adjust the front to fit properly. That is starting from the 1 inch you mark. For the back neckline, I mark out a straight line so that I'll know where I'll be starting from. After which I come down with 1 inch. That is for the depth of the back neck, and I chalk it down. Then you connect it to meet the 2.5 you marked initially and take it to the zip allowance. Then you cut out everything the same way. So that is it. For the front, we'll be dipping our armhole. Make sure you are raising it and you are cutting the front alone. And that's all for the front. While for the back, we'll be going up with half of an inch and you mark it down. This is because the front and the back are not equal. Then you connect to the side with a straight line. Then you trim it off. Then you slit through for your zipper allowance. So that's all for the back, and this is what it's looking like. And this is the front, so don't forget to mark the wrong side. For the down part, I'll be cutting out a straight fabric and the length is 44 on fold. As you can see, it's on fold 44. You know the amount of fabric to put on fold is the baby's waist times 2 or 3 if you want a fuller effect. Mine is times 2 now, but I later added pieces to it to make it times 3. So the length I'll be working with is 11 inches and you mark it down. Just marking it all through to have a straight line. You connect it together and you cut out. And that's the down part. If you check the style inspiration, you'll see that the down part is having a combination, and that is where my crepe comes in. I'll be using it to join to the down part. I've gone ahead to cut out a long strap and it's 66 inches. That's the baby waist multiplied by 3, which is 22 times 3, which gives us 66 inches. For the length, I'll be using 7 inches. After that, we'll take it to the sewing machine and you join it with half of an inch. For the net is 2 yards on fold, and I'm arranging it to have an equal mount. That's what I'm doing, arranging it so that it will be equal. After arranging, you cut it out to have a straight line, which will serve as our starting line. For the length, I'll be using 8 inches and you mark it down. I don't know, I just like marking my own all through so that I'll have a straight line. But if you have a ruler, you can go ahead and use it. But for a perfect result, you mark all through and you cut it out. So this is the net that will serve as the plain. It's now time to cut out the sleeve, and my fabric is on fold. For the length, I'll be using 5 inches. You're using 5 inches and you mark it out. So now I'm inserting her arm circumference. Divide by 2 plus 1 inch for the sewing allowance and you mark it down. From the starting line, you'll go down by 2 inches. Then you connect. After which, you just draw a slant line just the way I'm doing. Take a closer look and look at what I'm doing. You draw your slant line that way and you place your tape to mark out the midpoint. After marking it, you go up by half of an inch and you go down by half of an inch the other way, and you connect it. Look at the way I'm connecting it so that you won't make mistake. Next is to check the circumference so that it will fit your armhole properly. That's what I'm doing, and I'll be marking it at 6 inches. And you connect the 2 points together. Then you cut out. Make sure you check properly so that you know where you are cutting out. Is to place the first one on another fabric so that we'll cut the second sleeve and you trace it out. After that, you notch the midpoint. Back to the net again. If you check the sleeve is a cloud sleeve. So this is the net we'll be making that cloud effect on the sleeve. And the net is on fold, it's 2 yards, and the length I'll be using is 2 inches. That is because it's for a baby. But if you want it longer, you can go ahead and use 2.5, but advisable you use 2 inches. So just mark it all through. And I marked 4 of these, but I later add, because the 4 was not enough for me, I later add another 4. I use 4 for one sleeve, 4 for another sleeve, which makes it 8. After marking, you cut it out. So let's work on the sleeve to know how that cloud effect is being achieved. First is to mark ½ inch, and this ½ inch will serve as our joining allowance to the shoulder. You mark it all through. After which you connect the points together. Next is to mark 1 inch all the way down. And you connect with a straight line. For a fuller effect, you can as well use ½ inch all the way down. But for this tutorial, I'll be making use of 1 inch. So we'll be turning that with our lining. So let me just quickly show you how it's going to look like when we get to the sewing machine. This is the net. You will just place the net on it, on the line, and you pleat that way. So that is how it's going to be done on the sewing machine. You just pleat it all through to the end. So we have come to the end of this tutorial. Tell me what you think in the comment section, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching to the end. Bye. See you in the next part.